did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined, utterly reckless. He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target. Let's give him one.
Shaken, not stirred. That's the way James Bond likes his martinis. And an action-focused stealth Bond adventure just how I love my Bond games. Greenway, cue up the review for 007 First Light. In yet another retelling into the origins and missions of the legendary agent 007, Bond must prove that he has what it takes to be called 00 by taking down the master manipulator and rogue agent 009. James Bond has taken many forms within over 50 years of media outings. From the classic Sean Connery, to the smooth, suave Pierce Brosnan, to the more modern and action-focused Daniel Craig. I was curious to know what type of Bond First Light was going to be adapting, since it's supposed to be yet another fresh new take on the character. It's going to be kinda hard to stand out amongst those legends. But IO Interactive managed to do the impossible and create one of the most unique and fun interpretations of Bond. His youthful inexperience formulates the perfect blend of suave cockiness and John Wick badass. Like a mix of Agent 47 from Hitman and Nathan Drake from Uncharted, which honestly is the perfect way to describe it. Bond has multiple different approaches to any situation. Need to find your way past some pretty scary looking guards? No problem. Investigate the surrounding area, influence outcomes by utilizing the classic Bond gadgets, blend into the crowd to sneak your way through, or see how good your suave smooth talking is to bluff your way past, or discover a new clue that would help you later on. The more I spent exploring my surroundings, the more this beautifully crafted world opened up and presented new opportunities I would have never guessed possible. I often replayed some of these same chapters over a dozen of times, just to see how different the events could unfold, or how many times I can talk my way out of a sticky situation before somebody started to catch on. It might be a bit more linear than IO Interactive's other stealth franchise Hitman, but still retains that core concept of giving you the tools and freedom necessary to complete any objective the way you see fit. But if stealth fails, you can always rely on the good old tried and true method of turning everyone in your sightlines into Swiss cheese. It still counts as stealth if no one's alive to stop you, right? The over-the-top third-person shootouts are some of the smoothest I've ever experienced. Just like there's so many ways to sneak your way through an area, there's just as many ways to dispatch your foes. Guns, gadgets, or just about whatever you could find is at your disposal. I couldn't help but get a little creative every time I saw that license to kill notification pop up that signified it's time to go full-on John Wick on everyone. It really shows just how quickly a perfectly executed plan can erupt into utter chaos in mere seconds. There were so many times I just said screw stealth altogether and just opted into a firefight just to scratch that third-person cover shooter itch. And oh boy, that itch feel good. But just as First Light blows you away with the duality of Hitman stealth and Uncharted action, they also introduce us to some of the best performances in gaming I've seen this year. This is one of the best interpretations of Bond, or M, or Q for the modern era. Even introducing totally original characters like Greenway felt like a perfect fit within the world First Light tries to create. Bond's youthful inexperience plays perfectly alongside Greenway's hardened mentor personality, or Ross's femme fatale Bond girl outlook, and never once feels like it's overly forced or tiresome. 007 First Light reintroduces us to the world of James Bond, and it's a world I'd gladly jump into. The freedom to discover new opportunities to shape the pathway to your objective mixes masterfully with its John Wick shootout moments to give us one of the most beautifully performed and enjoyable interpretations of James Bond to date. You expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to give 007 First Light a 10 out of 10.